Hey there guys, so in the last anime episode, we witnessed that the assassins have targeted Prince Glenn, but thanks to Beryl and the others their plan was foiled. So Beryl presumed the upcoming trip to the agricultural fields would surely be cancelled. Thus, no more duty call, and Beryl returned home, where he saw Lucy. She had arrived to inform Beryl why assassins were targeting Prince Glenn of the Sphene Kingdom. Apparently, there's a power struggle between the royals and the Pope there, which explains why the Pope's faction is attempting to remove the royals. Then the next day, Alicia brought news that the trip to the agriculture field was not cancelled. In fact, Prince Glenn was the one who insisted not to cancel it, so Beryl and numerous guards were ready this time to protect Prince Glenn and Princess Salacia. But the assassins also brought many of their allies to attack. So Beryl asked Alicia to take the prince and princess to the carriage and shield them while he moves on ahead to thin out the attackers. And that's where he encountered Rose and got prepared to attack her. This must be why she only knocked out those assassins and didn't eliminate them. But the question is, how long had Beryl knew? And Beryl stated he got doubtful of her when Rose killed the assassin in previous attack when she could have captured him. And now she's here instead of guarding the prince. Rose did this because their nation was declining due to this power struggle. But Beryl doesn't care about that issue. He just knows that Rose is on the wrong path. And as a teacher, it's his duty to guide her right. But Rose has to proceed, or else the orphan children in her kingdom will suffer. That's why she chose to resist. And meanwhile, Alicia and others were fending off those assassins from reaching Prince Glenn. But some could use magic to boost their powers. Yet the three remained calm. As for Beryl, he and Rose were battling. Beryl didn't wish to strike her, and that's why he skillfully evaded her every assault. Rose knew she couldn't win against Beryl, yet she couldn't back down either, or the children at the orphanage would die. The Pope is holding them captive to make Rose do his bidding. Now Beryl comprehends the complexity of the situation and the necessity to subdue her. Rose still attacks first, knowing she has no chance. Beryl did receive slight cuts and wasn't able to counter because Rose had a shield, but that also made her movements easy to foresee because she could only attack from certain angles. That's why Beryl parried her attack and cuts her down when he made an opening. That was a decisive blow to conclude the matters. Rose was still undaunted, and the smile didn't leave her face. Beryl was pleased seeing her so strong, but Rose asked him to end her life now. Yet Beryl refused and decided to have her receive punishment according to law. And just then Gatoga arrived. He had taken out all the archers and came rushing in thinking Rose was alone here. He performed some instant healing to stop the bleeding, and Beryl then told him he did this because she's working with those assassins since the Pope took the children hostage from the orphanage. Gatoga wasn't from the Pope's side and decided to save the kids first and chose to conceal Rose's involvement. He wants to cover it up because she's his stepsister. Beryl relented and decided to go along with his decision. But Rose was convinced royals aren't good either because they held Bishop Rivos unjustly. It's the same Bishop Beryl had caught. So he vouched that Rivos was a sinner who attempted to bring the dead back to life and committed many wicked deeds with criminals, which indicates the Pope lied to Rose to entice her that royals are evil. It was difficult to hear, but truth is truth. So Rose now refused to die, and they decided to return. Then our other group also did an excellent job securing the royals from attackers. And since Beryl came back means the assassins are finished, so they succeeded in their task. As for Rose's involvement, Beryl leaves out the details and fabricated that she got injured. So Gatoga took her to the medic immediately, but she'll live with no major issues. With it, the trip came to a safe conclusion. And the government decided to compensate the farmers whose crops were damaged right before the harvest. And on that note, a letter arrived from the royal castle, saying that Alicia is invited to the banquet. It has Beryl's name in it too, but he wanted to decline it. No one was sure if he could do that or not, because none had ever refused an invitation to a royal banquet, so at best Beryl might receive a death sentence, so Beryl just had to agree. Everyone who knows Beryl was aware he doesn't like being in the spotlight. Plus, he's so humble that he doesn't even recognize the level of skills he possesses. But others know he's a sword master and deserves the attention he dislikes. At the banquet, everyone other than him was a high-ranking person, and Alicia was being naturally calm. Their king and princess came to commence the banquet, and he thanked Alicia and Beryl for protecting his daughter. Both did an excellent job. And then came the dishes and wine. Beryl was just too anxious to enjoy his drink, and then the princess spoke only praises for Beryl. That's why the king thought he did the right thing to assign him as an instructor now. This news isn't made public that the princess is set to marry Prince Glenn, which explains why Glenn didn't cancel his trip anyways. King told this to Beryl because King wants him to join the elite guards to protect his daughter once she gets married and goes to the Sphinx Kingdom. He chose Beryl because, judging by the skills, he's a master swordsman. Alicia was over the moon that King himself recognized Beryl as swordsmanster. But she asked the king to reconsider because Beryl is important to train the younglings, so the king dropped the idea, but he gave a dining plate as a gift to Beryl after the banquet ended. But it looked too good to use. Then he asked for the food to Mui even though he had a full course at Royal Castle, and Beryl said that food at the Royal Castle was good, but homemade food is just priceless. Then he sent this plate back home with a letter informing his parents of what happened too. Apparently the king considered him a master swordsman, but Beryl thinks he doesn't deserve that. And right there our anime series ends, so stay tuned to watch newly released anime episode recap on my channel. For that, subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you never miss any updates. Till then, take care.